Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, so if you've been anywhere near sports media lately, you know the WNBA isn't just like on the sidelines anymore.
Oh, definitely not. It feels like it's exploded, right? It's kind of become this full-blown cultural thing.
Absolutely. It's really changing how we think about pro sports viewership. So today, we're going to try and cut through some of the noise.
Yeah, give you a bit of a shortcut.
Exactly. We want to pinpoint where the fan energy, the real buzz is focused right now.
And for that, our mission today is a deep dive using this really interesting source. It's a fan-voted ranking.
Right. Updated super recently, June 30th, 2025, and it's specifically titled The Best WNBA Teams to Watch.
That's the key part, to watch. This isn't about, like, who has the most rings or the best win-loss record.
No, it's about pure fan appeal.
Yeah.
Excitement. What teams do people think are the most entertaining right now?
And the data's pretty specific. It's based on 13 ranked teams, 484 total votes.
From 89 different voters, so it's a decent snapshot, It gives us a feel for the landscape in mid-2025.
Helps us understand which teams are really driving this explosive growth the league's seeing.
But before we even get to the list itself, we kind of need to set the stage, don't we? This didn't just, happen overnight.
No, not at all. You got to look back. The WNBA was founded, 1996?
Yeah, 96. And it started small, just 8 original teams.
Right. And it's grown since then, obviously, more than it does now. But those early years, that was about just getting established, proving there was a market.
And building that visibility, well, that relied on some absolute legends, didn't it?
For sure. Foundational talents.
You can't talk about the early days without Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops.
Rebecca Lobo, too.
Yeah. They weren't just amazing players. They were basically pioneers fighting for media attention.
Well said. And they really established 2 key things, didn't they?
Yeah.
One was the on-court product, the legitimacy.
Right.
And the other was off-court marketability. Getting those first TV deals, the endorsements, that was crucial.
They kind of set the table for stability.
Exactly. But if that was the era of, let's say, building stability, the last couple of years feel like, well, acceleration. Pure speed.
Yeah, and if you're looking for one single moment, one massive catalyst for that acceleration,
It has to be Caitlin Clark, right?
it really does. Her moving from Iowa to the Indiana Fever in 2024,
Yeah,
that wasn't just a draft pick. It was like a tectonic shift.
that's a good way to put it, a tectonic shift. Because the impact was immediate and measurable.
Oh, yeah.
Connect that to the bigger picture. You have this one player creating this huge quantifiable market jump. Viewership records were broken.
Not just for Fever games either.
No, across the league, merchandise sales went nuts. And, ticket prices on the secondary market when the Fever came to town skyrocketed.
It just proved, didn't it, that a generational talent like that could instantly translate into mainstream commercial success. Big time.
Yeah, it really did.
And the source material we're looking at, it acknowledges the speed. It basically says the WNBA is here to stay and just gets better, bigger each year.
Which feels right. The talent pool is deep now, the excitement's there.
And now, thanks to these fan votes from June 2025, we have a pretty clear idea of where that excitement is actually landing.
So maybe we can think about this watchability in, 2 main ways.
Okay, how so?
Well, you've got what I'd call momentum watchability. That's driven by, a big story, recent hype, like the Clark effect.
Makes sense. And the other?
Maybe legacy watchability. Teams with long-term success, established rivalries, big fan bases built over years.
Okay, I like that distinction, momentum and legacy. So, thinking about momentum watchability, let's get to the list. Number 1.
Unsurprisingly, landing at number 1 with a huge 102 votes.
It's gotta be the Indiana Fever.
It is the Indiana Fever.
Oh, yeah.
That vote total, 102, it really centers that national narrative right there in Indianapolis.
It's more than just winning the top spot, isn't it? That number is way higher than anyone else.
Exactly. It's a statement. It shows that if you're a casual fan just tuning in, the Fevers are kind of the default must-watch team right now. They're driving the whole conversation.
And the fan data backs that up completely. Okay, so Fever at number 1. Let's look at the rest of the top 5. What are we seeing there? A mix of that momentum and legacy.
I think so. Yeah, it's a blend. Coming in at number 2 with a strong 78 votes, you've got the Minnesota Lynx.
Okay, Minneapolis. They feel like pure legacy watchability, right? Always good, always competitive.
Pretty much. Consistent excellence, always in the mix, demands attention.
Then we head to the coasts. Number 3, 68 votes. The New York Liberty.
Yep. Big market, powerhouse team, huge media presence.
Then right there with them, kind of their big rival lately. Number 4, from Paradise, Nevada, the Las Vegas Aces.
Pulling in 61 votes. And that Aces-Liberty matchup, I mean, that's delivered some incredible basketball recently, especially in the finals.
Totally. High stakes, star players all over the court. That's fans voting for top-tier competition, pure legacy.
Definitely.
And rounding out the top 5.
Number 5, with 59 votes, the Los Angeles Sparks.
Okay, so that's a really interesting top 5. Indiana's momentum, then Minnesota, New York, Vegas, LA. Very geographically spread out, big cities, big markets.
Yeah, it shows the league's reach.
Yeah.
But, when we move into the middle of the pack, things get, well, even more interesting. You see expansion making an impact and some weird quirks in the voting numbers.
Okay, yeah, let's look at this middle section. Number 6, we have the Phoenix Mercury. From Arizona, they got 60 votes.
Right, solid legacy team.
But then, look at number 7, the Golden State Valkyries, the new team in San Francisco. They actually got more votes, 62 votes, but they're ranked lower. How does that work?
Okay, yeah, that's the quirk I was talking about. It kind of makes you scratch your head, right? More votes, lower rank.
It does.
It highlights something really important about how these ranked choice type voting systems can work, and maybe the difference between, say, passionate local fans and broader national recognition.
Okay, explain that.
Well, the Valkyries getting 62 votes right out of the gate, that's huge. It suggests their new Bay Area fan base is really active, really engaged. They're clearly ranking the Valkyries very high on their personal lists.
So they have a core group voting them number 1 or 2, maybe.
Exactly, a really passionate core. But maybe fewer voters overall across the country put them on their list at all compared to a more established team like Phoenix.
Ah, I see. So Phoenix might get fewer total votes, but maybe more people rank them somewhere like 3rd, 4th, or 5th. Leading to a higher average rank overall.
That's likely the mechanism, yeah. It suggests the Valkyries have smashed it locally, instant market success, but maybe haven't quite built that same widespread national awareness as the top 6 teams yet.
Okay, that makes sense. But getting 62 votes immediately, that's a massive signal that expansion into the Bay Area was a smart move.
Absolutely. Huge indicator of a hungry market.
All right, moving down the list. Strong regional teams continue. Number 8, Seattle Storm, 47 votes. Always a presence in the Pacific Northwest.
Yep. Then number 9, the Dallas Wings down in Arlington, Texas. They got 55 votes.
And number 10 is the Washington Mystics with 50 votes.
So you notice Dallas there. 55 votes? That's still a decent number.
Yeah, more than Seattle or Washington.
Right, but they're ranked 9th. It just shows how competitive this midsection is for fan attention, how high that bar for watchability seems to be set.
Okay, let's finish off the list. We've got 13 teams ranked in total. And this bottom part, I think, really hammers home that point you made about local passion versus national narrative.
It really does. So at number 11, we find the Chicago Sky.
Okay, and look at their vote count.
This is the number that should make you pause. 67 votes for the Chicago Sky.
Wait, 67? That's more votes than the Las Vegas Aces got at number 4.
Exactly. More than the Aces, 61. More than the Liberty, 68 is just one more. More than Phoenix, 60. LA, 59.
So how on earth are they ranked way down at number 11 if they got 67 votes? That seems completely backwards.
It does on the surface. But think back to that Valkyries example.
Yeah.
That 67 votes for Chicago, that screams local loyalty. An incredibly passionate, dedicated fan base.
So lots of Chicago fans voting them number 1, pushing that total vote count up.
Must be.
Yeah.
They clearly see their team as highly watchable. But
Yeah.
for whatever reason, maybe because they aren't the dominant media story nationally right now like the Fevers are.
The rest of the voters, the broader pool of 89 voters, must be ranking them much lower on average.
Precisely. Pulling their overall average rank down to 11th, despite that high raw vote count from their core fans.
Wow. Okay, so Chicago is a hotspot of dedicated fans, even if the national spotlight isn't quite on them in the same way currently.
That's a great way to put it. And that difference, that local intensity versus wider national interest, that might be the most valuable thing this list actually shows us.
Yeah, it tells you where the loudest fans are, maybe, versus where the most eyeballs are tuning in nationally. Interesting. Okay, finish the list for us.
All right, number 12 is the Connecticut Sun. They secured 52 votes. Still a solid number. And finally, at number 13, with the lowest vote count in this particular ranking, 41 votes, the Atlanta Dream.
Okay, so the full list is there. When you pull back and look at all this fan data, what's the big picture takeaway?
I think it shows a league that's firing on like multiple cylinders, you know?
Yeah.
You've got that clear momentum watchability with the Fever grabbing that number 1 spot because of the huge narrative.
Right. The Caitlin Clark effect is undeniable in this data.
You've got the legacy watchability. Established powerhouses like the Liberty, the Aces, the Lynx, the Sparks, fans know them, expect high-level play, maybe follow the rivalries.
Makes sense.
And then there's that powerful local loyalty factor, keeping teams like Chicago fiercely supported by their home base, even if their national ranking fluctuates.
And you can't ignore the geography either, can you? California, Nevada, Minnesota, New York, Texas, Arizona. It's coast to coast.
Yeah, the league's clearly succeeded in getting into diverse major markets. And the source material mentions this too, right? It emphasizes more cities are going to get teams soon.
Which suggests this current wave of expansion, like Golden State, is just the start.
Seems like it.
So this kind of leads to a final thought, something for you, the listener, to maybe chew on. We've seen how one player, like Caitlin Clark, can basically warp the fan perception landscape, create this dominant #1 draw.
Yeah, just completely change the gravity of the league.
And we saw the Valkyries, a brand new team, instantly jump into the top half of watchability based on that initial fan excitement.
Right, that 62 votes is impressive for year one.
So the question is, what's the next big catalyst going to be? As the league keeps getting, as the source says, bigger and expansion continues.
The fight for that most watchable title is only going to get hotter.
Could another generational talent landing in a future expansion city, maybe Toronto, Philadelphia, places often mentioned?
Do they just leapfrog everyone?
Yeah.
Skip the decades of building legacy and jump straight into that top tier? Kind of like the Valkyries showed is possible, at least to some extent?
That feels like the big question mark, doesn't it? How does new energy compete with established history as the Wnba keeps growing?
Yeah, that's the challenge and the excitement for the next few years, I think.